All right. This is the first installment of the NFL version of WhammaCage Bets. And, I want to start off, it's going to be a perfect segue to our first pick. So how we're doing this, much like we do on the MMA side of things, we're not going to go down the list of every football game and give you who we think. We're going to give you who we think is the strong bet, however many it takes. It could be as little as one, and it could be as many as the whole Monty. We don't know. It could be this whole slate of games, I guess. In this case, might be 4 or 5 or 6. Now, I want to start off, and I was talking pre-show with my co-host, Dave. I'm obviously Stuart. This is Dave. And basically what I want to discuss with everyone is Matthew Stafford. For those of you who watched Sunday Night Football, and maybe you're not in the Michigan area, I would imagine most of you are, so you might actually be privy to what I'm saying. But can we just get Matthew Stafford off of the cross, please? The way that it was talked about and has been talked about in the lead up to this season, it's like he had loincloth on and was up on the cross with a thorn fucking crown on. Okay? He's not Jesus Christ. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an understanding of where we are at. Obviously, we take the show in Detroit, so we feel strongly about this topic. He's been here and won not a meaningful game defined as a playoff win, or maybe even a decent road victory. He's gotten good garbage time points, no doubt about it. Maybe not even a bad fantasy player.
Yeah, probably great fantasy.
He's had some of the best wide receivers. In fact, 2 of them just as much as last season, which they won, 5 games? It's unreal. And for me, we've also had his wife on Instagram, which she to me is like a lingering fart in an elevator. The way that she talks, she's, on one hand or the other, just riding his coattails. She annoys me. I'm just going to be honest. Probably a great person if you know her personally. Nothing, I want nothing but the best for her, but she does annoy the shit out of me. Worth noting. In any case, you're watching that game on Sunday night, and Chris Collinsworth makes this comment. I didn't realize how good this guy was. I guess we don't do a lot of Detroit teams on Sunday night. Yeah, good one, Chris. We appreciate you. Well, that's fine. Fair enough. Let me just bring us all back down to earth before we start the carousel music here. They played the fucking Bears, not the 08 Patriots. In fact, a better Bears team, maybe. Stafford, one of his 5 wins came from that team last year.
With that awful Lions team.
With that terrible Lions team. Let's not sing the praises. The guy he can't look off receivers to save his life. He zones in on one. He has no velocity on the throw. He just throws it like a damn bullet. You could be from me to where the fucking camera is away, and he's going to chuck it as hard as he possibly can. Now, I've always said, there's an old saying, hey, in the hands. Well, that only goes so far. If you can't look it in and turn onto your progressions and find out where you're going with the damn thing, even if you catch it, it doesn't matter.
I mean, how many receivers do you have to go through, too, not catching these balls? It's not 1 or 2 guys drop some of his passes. It's receiver after tight end after receiver that go on to other teams and become all-star players.
Exactly. Most notably, what was his name? Ebron. Went to the Colts. The very next season was a fucking Pro Bowler. He led the team in drops the season prior. Now, I'm not going to put all the IOTAs on Stafford. Maybe there was a couple he should have caught in there. But to Dave's point, you got to think about that for a second.
Now, how long are we going to pretend like he had the will to win in Detroit, too? I mean, I never even saw a fire under this guy's ass unless he was already had scored or, if the referees could basically spit on his face and piss on his mom's grave and he'd stand there straight-faced like he didn't give a care.
Right. And we're going to act, we're literally going to act as though the man was pounding over here in Detroit, was pounding rocks with a tack hammer. Mm-hmm. Like he had to feed a fucking colony of leopards with his bare hands or something. It wasn't that fucking bad. He's the highest paid player. He's going to become a fucking billionaire, much like Floyd Mayweather from sports. So I don't think he had it that fucking bad. Okay? But in any case, I'm not saying that the team around him isn't better. The Rams are 100% a more skillful team than what the Lions ever would have been or will be, and I might give you that. In fact, I will. But all I'm asking is that we take the thorn crown. It's a helmet he's wearing. Okay? It's not Jesus Christ out there. Bottom line. It's not the cloth that Jesus washed with, on his belt loop. Okay? So I digress on this point because this is not a Stafford hating podcast. This is where we give you the picks. Now, here's where I'm going.
Phase the Rams under.
Exactly. This is where we're going to get into our first pick here. One that I like. Now, I don't know how much of ours coincide. We're just going to give you some canter. You decide which one you want to go with. But I will preface this by stating my first, as far as football is concerned, if you want my accolades, we will show the picture up here. I did win $3,000 on the first DraftKings of the year, and I did plug in golf on that one.
Ooh, baby. That shitty quarterback from LA did pretty good for you on that DraftKings, baby.
Oh, baby, what's that golf do?
There we go.
With no wideouts, half the wideouts that he had, and they fucking covered, by the way, and I called that one too, albeit probably was the call of the year because they were getting their asses popped. I'm not going to sit here and make this a Lions podcast either, but in any case, those are my accolades right there. Now, let's move on to the picks. I really, really like the Indianapolis Colts at home against the Rams. Now, I'm going to take 3.5 points on this one. But, again, I think the Colts are they're a gritty, rough, in the trenches, big names, good wideouts, good secondary team that I think the type of team that can be a disruptor and give just little Mr. Old Matthew Stafford some fits in there.
Yeah, fade the Rams. I'm on board. I like it. I think you got it primed, ready to roll. Seattle came in and just whipped on whipped on the Colts last week, and I think they showed a lot of promise. Like you said, I mean, the Rams beat up on a just terrible Bears team. Didn't really do anything really to impress me. Everyone's going to be
up. They don't have a fucking quarterback.
Yeah, everyone's going to be up the Rams' ass. Let's hammer it on the fade. Let's go Colts plus 3.5.
There it is. I'm going to move on to the next one. Now, this one here, we talked about this ad nauseum, and I was actually shocked when I actually first saw the line. Again, you're going to think this is all about the Lions, but it's not. But we are going to pick the Lions here. I actually didn't want to pick the Lions. I was texting him after the Green Bay loss, or not texting, we were together. And I was like, I am going to absolutely fade the Lions next week because they're going to go into Green Bay. We'll probably get a good line after this Green Bay loss. And Aaron Rodgers is going to come and fuck them. Right out of the gates. It's in Lambeau. It's Monday Night Football. It's his time to shine, to shut all the haters up. And then Vegas, they come out with an 11-point line. What?
Yeah.
They're begging you.
I can't get a read on Aaron Rodgers here. He looks like he's dressed to go into these games like he should be a member of our podcast here. And, he goes out the legs a complete egg in that last game. And you think that he's going to pull out that big Rodgers dick and just hammer it home on the Lions right in front of all those cheese-eating fat fucks over there in Green Bay. So I don't think it's going to happen this time. I mean, not by 11. I think, if anything, you better tease this down if you're going to take Green Bay. I'm taking the Lions and the points.
I like that. And here's the thing, too, that's interesting. This wasn't a Drew Brees Saints team that whooped their ass up and down the field. And it wasn't a home field advantage. If you understand, they weren't playing at the Superdome. Louisiana is currently 10 feet underwater. Surprised people still live there. I don't think you're going to be able to get insurance there. On a side note, we're not going to go into the business side of things. But in any case, I think that's a trap. When you talk about the Saints, I think they're depleted. I think that there was very low expectations for them. They go out and they didn't just beat Green Bay. It wasn't like, I think there still would have been the same hype train. I don't even know if it would have affected the line because they're playing the Lions.
Right.
But it would have been the same hype train if they had won by 2. Here's the thing. They kicked their ass. They only got 3 fucking points. Rodgers looked horrible. It didn't look like Rodgers, if you want my opinion. I don't think he was expecting to play this season. I think he kind of thought that he was just going to sell out, sit out the season, and wait for the trade. Maybe they weren't going to do it, and he was going to show them that he meant business and just hold out on the year. Maybe even a Barry Sanders thing where they force him into retirement. One thing led to another, and here we are, not ready for the season. And week 2, I don't think that he's going to be ready to cover an 11-point fucking spread. Home or away, Monday Night Football or not. I just think and here's the side with the Lions. I am not crowning the Lions. I think that they got lucky as shit against San Francisco. I think they're a bad team. I think they have a horrible ass defense. They can't get any penetration. They couldn't cover water if they were swimming. All that being said, think about what did happen. They showed heart. They didn't quit. We have a new regime. We have a coach that's saying we're going to bite fucking kneecaps off. Now, does that really matter? Is it all jargon? Probably, yes. But one thing that you can say is they didn't quit on that game. Not for a second. And they were in it when they were down as much as 28 fucking points. Now, you mean to tell me that you're going to give me 11 points against a team that got absolutely blown out by a team in the Saints that sucks? So we're like 6 layers deep now here on this one, just so we're aware on the breakdown. Fuck that. And if you're talking about a tease, sure, let's tease the fucking Lions then. Give me more. Maybe buy. I know this is what they consider a sucker's bet. Man, buy 3 on that. Bring it up to 2 touchdowns. In the NFL, that's a lot for a team that's not going to quit and a team that had showed that the O-line is real.
Yeah.
The Lions' O-line is real. And the running game proved that. And that might open up. And later on in that game, they realized that Goff can toss the rock. Maybe they're going to let Goff open up a little bit on Monday Night Football. Maybe that Green Bay is going to stack the box, and we might be able to hit Cephas over the top. I don't know, but I love the Vegas literally said, here's the line, Stuart. Fucking dare you to take it. And I might be putting my hood up and riding right into the storm, but I'm going to do it. Give me the Lions and the 11 points on this one.
Shit, I was going as far as say every dipshit in the world's going to think that Aaron Rodgers can come back and forget all about that game last week. But let's go Lions money line and let's make some real money on Monday night. We know you're going to lose all your money Sunday, you fucking degenerates. Let's make it all back. Lions money line. Fuck you, bookie. We ain't paying.
All right. The next one, again, we're going with the points. There's some heavy-ass spreads this week in NFL football, and I need to make sure that I preface this. We are not talking college football. We have the Atlanta Falcons laying 12 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What's your take right now?
You know, Tampa Bay got a decent win against Dallas. I mean, what was it, 2-point game? Nothing really showing too much on that one for me. Atlanta wasn't looking too good either. You know, these 2 teams are going to brawl it out. I'm going to take the points. I mean, the underdog with that much plus points, how can you say no to it? I mean, I know we're going against Tom Brady, but he didn't look like he wanted to put his foot on anyone's neck early in the season this year. He probably doesn't give a shit too much until the playoffs come and he starts really ripping people apart. But I'm going to take the points on this one with Atlanta.
And Tom Brady, much like his skin, he ages very well in the season. Let's be real. He looked legit as hell. The offense was not the issue in that game against Dallas. Mm-hmm. I actually was surprised to see Dallas put up so much of a fight. And I don't know how I want to take this, but the defense gave up a lot.
It seemed mistakes too.
It seemed like they couldn't cover very well. They couldn't cover the pass very well. Matt Ryan is a proven quarterback. You're also, you know, I don't know, but I just think to give me 12 points against a defense that, you know, I don't want to use the word unknown because we have to be honest about this. Tampa Bay got their whole team back. Mm-hmm. They got the whole fucking Super Bowl team back. And then some. You know, Vea guy, and if you want to look at one bright spot on the defense for Tampa Bay, if you want to zone in on it, I know watching line play is difficult to do when you're watching it on TV, but if you want to watch line play, look at this Vea guy, this defensive tackle for Tampa Bay. He pancakes 2 people on 1. I mean, this guy absolutely. I mean, he was getting sacks by putting the other guy's ass end into the quarterback. Crazy. But apart from that, even with the pressure Tampa Bay was registering, those receivers were still getting open. Yeah. It seemed like those corners could not play on an island. Now, I don't know if they had them on an island or not. I really couldn't dissect it that far. But again, 12 points is a ton to give. And you mentioned this before. I'm liking a tease with these 2 games in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In NFL football, I think it's a great play for that. Now, both teams Atlanta did get slaughtered. I think they scored 6, but I think Matt Ryan can bounce back. He's a proven quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Again, we're not just going with some rookie that got trounced.
Mm-hmm.
We're going with a guy that's capable of getting the job done. And, Matt Ryan and Brady have had some battles over the years.
Yeah, I made a
Super
New
Bowl
Year's
being a Bowl.
resolution. New Year's resolution this year, no teasers for me. So I'll give you degenerates those teasers, but I ain't taking them. Just getting hammered on some of those just really pisses me off. So I'm not taking any teasers this year, but I'll tell you if there's some good value on them. There's some good numbers that you can go over with a teaser, but not for me anymore.
We're not giving you a teaser, though. I agree with you. Fuck that. We're taking the points. I just think it's food for thought. Now, this next one that I want to talk about. This quarterback, I think, is the real deal. He was the real deal in college. I think one of the best college teams assembled over there in LSU. I think that when you think about it, Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals is who I am referencing. I think he had a decent rookie season, all things considered.
Yeah.
And then he came out and showed that he's only progressed, and that's pretty dangerous. And we are getting yet again a plus line on the Cincinnati Bengals at plus 2.5 versus the Chicago Bears, which, real talk, looked like shit. I'll bring you back to the beginning segment. They didn't beat the Rams, and I think that the Rams are good, but I don't think they're as good as, maybe the pundits, which, again, I don't think that those are an oracle of all that is right, if you know what I'm saying. A little bit of bias in there against the Rams, the LA Rams. I think that they're going to absolutely pounce Chicago. I think the fact that we're getting plus points on this is incredible.
Who's Chicago going to walk out at quarterback?
I think they got to try Fields. I wish they would.
Seems weird that they haven't.
Well, I take that back. I actually don't wish they would. Just stick with Wentz. The prehistoric who's the quarterback there? Wentz, is it?
I thought it was Dalton, right?
Andy Dalton. That's right. Orange-haired fox. That's why I got confused. Andy Dalton. My apologies. Stick with Dalton. You know what I mean? Guy couldn't win. He actually couldn't win in Cincy. They'll probably walk him out there because he played at Cincy. See what happens. But I don't know. Cincinnati plus 2.5. That's going to be here. We're going to move on down the line here. This is going to be my last thing to offer. You know what? Before we get into that, I actually want to hear if you have a different one.
I like the Steelers hosting the Raiders after a big Monday Night Football win, back and forth. I don't know if Vegas called in the playbook, hey, we got to have our home team winning on opening day. But, big letdown spot for them after a short week going up to Pittsburgh. And, Big Ben still got the party started up there. So I'm taking the Steelers -5 against the Raiders.
-5. Okay. I'm going to be on the other side of this one of you. That's funny. You actually just mentioned my last pick of the week. I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders. Now, I do want to preface this at the beginning here of the season. Me and my wife are big football fans. We did decide that we were going to choose a different team to root for because we realized that the Lions just aren't going to make it this year. So a good pro tip of finding a way to get invested into a team, put your money on it. I bet them to win the Super Bowl this year. Fuck it.
The Raiders?
The Raiders. The LA Raiders, baby. We might even be making a trip there to watch them at that
Las Vegas, baby.
Allegiant Stadium. And boy, did they put on a show last night.
That was a wild one.
Comeback victory against the Baltimore Ravens. Our boy John Harbaugh couldn't get the job done.
Harbaugh suck.
Yeah. Well, it was a good victory nonetheless. My boy Gruden's getting it figured out over there. I like where the Raiders are going. I think they're a very gritty team. Again, you got to look at the team not quitting, not getting down. I think it is dangerous, though, because a lot of people have been down on the Steelers preseason, early season. Even in last week, they were an underdog, which, real talk, if you ask me, I probably thought they shouldn't have been because they got a shit ton of firepower at wide receiver. You got Juju, and then you got Claypool. I mean, that's elite right there. They're still behind a good O-line. Tomlinson's one of the best coaches in the league. I firmly believe that. And I think the question mark for me, though, I don't think Big Ben's got it anymore. I think he's a little bit past his prime. I don't think he's not aging like Tom Brady out there. He's big.
He went keto.
Well, you know what? He's big. He's bulky. He's slow. I don't think the arm strength is there. Surprised he went another go at it this year. We'll see what happens. I think he has a lot of kids, so maybe that plays a role into it. Don't know. Either way, I think it's going to be an interesting one. But for me, I think Vegas. Give me the points and Vegas. And I know I think we hate saying this, but I think I want to tease all of these. I think I'm going to put a teaser out for every one of these picks and just cash the ticket on it. But that is it. That is our first installment. Just to recap the picks that we gave you here. We gave you the Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5, Cincinnati Bengals plus 2.5. We were split on this one, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to take the points with 5. He's going to lay the points with 5. He's going with the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Atlanta Falcons at plus 12. Detroit Lions at plus 11.
Sprinkle the money line, too.
Sprinkle the money line if you want. I don't recommend that, though. I don't think they're going to come out with a W there in Lambeau. But in any case, those are the picks, my friends.